Hey guys, this is Danietta, and today is Thursday, and I want to say thank you so much for watching my videos. Hopefully, you've gotten a chance to watch some of my other videos as well. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for listening and all that good stuff. So today, like I said, it's Thursday, and I want to talk about just something briefly that um, I'm definitely a work in progress with, and that is goal setting. So typically, we see it all the time, at the beginning of the year, right after New Year's Day, everybody's like, oh, I want to lose 25 pounds. I want to have better relationships. I want to build a better business, or I want to stay organized, or what have you. Whatever the most common New Year's resolutions, aka goals, are. We've heard them all. So I've kind of learned differently, and I have gotten accustomed to doing things a little bit different in terms of goals. Now, this just works for me, but again, I'm still a work in progress. So I have learned that the natural flow of things, or the it's not necessarily for like the New Year's resolution. That's not when we should be setting goals. Or that's not, let me retract that. That's not when I choose to set goals. I've gotten teachings from several mentors and teachers out there, one being Juju Mama, and the other being Living Aligned, and just kind of learned that right now actually is a time that we should be setting our goals and just kind of going with the natural flow of nature. Um, and so, not to get too much into that, but that's what I have chosen for me and my family, or just me, because my family, the little girls, are 5. So, but so in terms of goal setting, one of the things that I do is really just evaluate. Just really being authentic with myself, whether or not it's good, bad, whatever. Just really being authentic with myself in terms of what I did accomplish. And for the things that I did accomplish, giving myself a pat on the back, congratulations, you did do that, right? And then for the things that I did not accomplish, really just, okay, why? Getting to the bottom of why it was not accomplished. Was it not accomplished because I really didn't want to do it? Or was it not time? Or was I negligent, meaning that I didn't set myself up for success? So that's what I kind of spent a lot of time doing around this time. Like say around, say, September, latter part of September up until like probably around November, beginning of December, just doing some evaluation and setting my goal, what I want to accomplish for 2014. So with saying that, I already know, and I've already written down what I want to accomplish for next year. So now it's just going through the natural flow of dealing with those things that have kept me from accomplishing those things before, or dealing with any fears or excuses, which, I talked about that yesterday. On my Facebook page. So anyway, that's really what I do. The other thing that I do, that I've learned to do, especially now as the girls get a little older, and for those that don't know, I have a set of twins and they are 5. They'll be 6 next year. So one of the things that I do now is I incorporate them with the goals. And even though they may not get like, okay, well, mommy wants to do this, that, and the third, because they'll sit there and they'll go on a tangent about, oh, well, we want to do Disney and we want to do this. And so it's kind of cool but I incorporate them with the goal setting, to let them know, like, this is a family. This is family, and right now it's the 3 of us, and this is what we're going to do to help each other, and even with them, like, they don't set goals. I mean, come on, they're 5. But like, just say, for example, they have this thing of, okay, they want to go to Disney, right? And so I was like, well, what do we need to do to get to Disney? And of course, everything falls back on mommy. But just getting them their thought process, or getting their minds into training them to really think about what you need to do in order to accomplish goals, in order to get what you want. And so that's what I also do with when it comes to accomplishing or doing my goals. Just making sure I incorporate the key players, and they are key players in my household, because everything needs just to be aligned. But the other thing that I do is I kind of just I've learned to kind of, I guess, just put myself in a situation where, so just say, for example, right? If I have a goal of creating, say, $10,000 a month, right? And I go ahead and put myself in that thought frame, that mind frame of having already accomplished that, and or working on it, or what have you. And then I allow myself to feel these feelings of, which comes off as fear, excuses, or why I can't, and I really deal with that in terms of like, oh my God, like I can't, I don't have, how am I going to create $10,000 a month? That's probably going to take me a long time, and nobody's going to want to hear what I have to say, or nobody's going to want to listen or buy products or services from me, and I'm going to get a lot of rejection. And so I really deal with that. That way, when or if it does happen, then I'm not thrown off, like, oh, wait, I'm not knocked down so hard to the point that I no longer, or I'm discouraged about accomplishing my goal. So that's something that works for me. And then I, of course, write it down. Just kind of break it down. And I learned this little tip from one of my mentors, Nicole Cooper, where she had us. I thought it was, honestly, guys, a lot of times somebody will tell me to do something, and I just like, that's just stupid. Why would I want to do that? Like, I don't have time. I don't feel like it. But I'm so appreciative that I was humbled at that moment to do the task that she told us to do. So anyway, we had to start with the end in mind. And what we had to do was, what was the income that we wanted to earn a month, right? And so from that, so just say you're saying, okay, I want to earn $5,000 a month, right? And so from that, it's like you had to move backwards. And I just thought that was kind of crazy, because I'm like, well, why wouldn't I do it the other way around? But then, like, once I did it, I got it. And so it's like you want to say, okay, identify that goal. So if you want to earn $5,000 a month, if you want to lose 25 pounds in next year, if you want to work on having more self-love and more loving relationships, start with that first. And then you move backwards. So what will it take? So you have to identify then the steps, or you should, or that's what we did, I should say, and that's what I do now. Identify the steps that it will take for you to get to $5,000 a month, 25 pounds off, more self-love and loving relationships. Identify the steps that it'll take. So just say, for the 25 pounds, right? Just say that you go grocery shopping every Sunday. You write out your grocery list, you write out your meal, you do your meal planning, everything over the weekend. So every Saturday and Sunday, that's your meal planning, grocery store, all of that stuff. So those are the steps that'll help you get to losing that 25 pounds. That way you're not aimlessly aiming at something, trying to target at something that you probably may not get to, or even if you did, it would be like, oh dang, I made it. But it was just by chance, So that's what you want to do. You want to start with the end in mind and move backwards. That way, once you have all the steps that it takes to get to your goal, your end result, then at that point, now, once you're ready to start, you can have checkpoints to keep yourself accountable. So the $5,000 a month. just say, all right, you have a product or service, right, that you sell, and it's $20 a pop, right? So you have to then break down the numbers of, in 1 month, how many of these $20 products do I need to sell? Right? And then once you identify that number, then you could possibly identify, okay, well, how many hours a week do I have to dedicate to this? And then once you identify that, then you could say, within the 5 hours a week that I have to dedicate to this, what will I be doing? What is the biggest bang for my buck? What's going to get me the biggest return in terms of your time, right? So administrative work won't get you paid, pretty much, unless that's your business. But so it's like you have to break it down to the smallest detail so that everything is checked off and you can keep yourself accountable in every way imaginable. Because I used to have those small details just in my head, like, oh, okay, well, duh, I know I got to talk to people to make this amount of money. Duh, that just makes sense. But yeah, it made sense. But what happens when, okay, something else takes precedence over that because I did not schedule my time properly. I did not shut everything else off. I did not make sure the girls were taken care of so that I can work on my business, or so I could work out or what have you. So if you schedule these things, if you put these things, write them out, all the details that will help you get to the end result, then you have a better chance of being successful. So that's typically how I am, and I have learned to do my goal setting. But the biggest thing, so I'm sorry, well, the biggest thing is that once you identify what it is that you want to accomplish, right? Which you should probably, start on that now and use this time now to deal with that. And just kind of imagine yourself already being the size that you want to be. Imagine yourself already making that money. Imagine yourself in that loving, blissful relationship with yourself and with, if you want a partner or whatever. Go ahead and imagine that. And if there are feelings that arise that make you feel very uncomfortable, or like, oh my God, that's a bit much, deal with that. Don't shut it down. Just deal with it. Walk through it. Why are you fearful? Why are you making these excuses? Why is this coming up? And that way, you won't be so thrown off of track if and when that actually happens. And then too, like meditating, already being thankful for what you want to accomplish, already being thankful for that already happening. And so, like, my mother always used to tell me, thank you makes room for more. And just being thankful for, your body being healthy, your mind, body, spirit, everything just being in the healthiest state. Being thankful, for me, God, but being thankful to God, like, oh my, I'm here, I'm healthy, I have these loving relationships, I'm financially abundant, I am healthy, I'm abundantly healthy, wealthy, all that good stuff. Go ahead and be thankful for it. I don't care what is going on around you, already be thankful for it. And then after that, just kind of, once you do all that other stuff, writing it down, starting with the end in mind, and then taking the time to write down the steps to help you accomplish what it is that you want. That way you have some checkoff points to help you stay accountable. You can involve other people too, but I'm kind of funny about involving other people. I'm just telling you now. I'm real funny about my goals and what I want to accomplish because everybody doesn't have the same, they don't want the same things, and not because they're mean people, but just because of their belief level. They may not believe that it's possible to make $10,000 a month. So you may have somebody whose energy and their thought process is way off from yours. And if you tell them, they may be like, oh, yeah, right. Come on now. You better go get a job with some benefits. You know what I mean? So just be careful about that. I just say meditate, all that good stuff, and get around people who have already accomplished what you are wanting to accomplish. Good Lord, please do that. That's helped me out so much. It has raised me up on my journey. So, all right, I wanted to come in under 15 minutes. I'm a little bit over, but hopefully this helps you in terms of accomplishing or creating and all that good stuff, creating your goals, or coming up with goals for 2014, what I typically do. And like I said, I'm still a work in progress, but yeah, it works for the most part. All right, guys, so I shall see you on the next video. All right, you guys have a great day. Bye.